Hi everyone, this video is going to be a bit different as it's not scripted, so forgive me if I jump around a bit. There's been two announcements made by Sony in the last few days, and I want to talk about the big one since when I saw it, it made me sick to my stomach. Sony has announced, starting in 2028, they will be ending physical disc production. This means any game that comes out for the PS6, PS5, or God forbid the PS4 after that date will be digital only. Something I haven't seen talked about is the wording they used. They specifically said physical discs, meaning they might try the same shtick GTA 6 did, where it's just a code in a box. That way, they can still have first-party games out in the wild at like a GameStop or Walmart. This whole thing is extremely important and everyone should care about it, even if you only buy digital. Personally, I mainly buy physical. About 99% of my games are physical, but once in a blue moon, I do buy a digital game. Maybe it's on a steep sale, or majority of the time, it's only available digitally. But that's the point I'm trying to make. I have a choice on where to buy the game. No more discs means the only place you could buy games would be the PSN store. Unless of course they do go the route of selling codes in a box. This would mean you're going to pay whatever Sony wants you to pay. If it's a 3-year-old game and it's still $70, you have to wait for a sale, whenever that is. Whereas I'm sure you could go to eBay or a game store and find that game for a fraction of the price. Obviously, companies hate the used game market and want to eliminate it. Remember back in the PS3 and 360 days, where if you didn't buy an online game brand new, you'd have to fork over $10 for the online pass? Yeah, nobody liked that, so it went away. My god, I just looked it up. Spider-Man 2, an almost 3-year-old game, is $70 on PSN right now. And Walmart has it for $30. Brand new. I don't know anyone that, if they had the choice, would pay an extra $40 just for the convenience of having it digital. Something else no discs would mean is no more ownership of your games. Like I said before, the majority of my games are physical, and they're all on the disc. There might be some bugs or glitches since there's no day one patch, but the whole game is on the disc. Any game you have digital, you don't own. It's just an extended rental. I have some digital games. I'm not saying don't buy them, but I only buy them when they're incredibly cheap. That way, I don't mind if I lose them. I've only ever bought one game digitally for full price, and it was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I couldn't get it physically because the pandemic had just started, so everywhere was closed. In hindsight, I regret it since I paid $60 for it and have nothing to show besides it being on my console. So when Rebirth came out, I bought it physically and found out it came on 2 discs, a data disc and a play disc. This is that meme of if they wanted to, they would. I also seem to remember earlier in the week, Sony deleted over 500 movies from accounts because a license expired. No refunds or any compensation. Now, I understand it would have been illegal for Sony not to do it because it is a license, but I'm saying it to point out the fact that nothing digital is yours to own. Something else I forgot to mention before when I talked about only being able to buy from the PSN store is that Sony uses dynamic pricing, or A/B testing some people call it. The cost of a game for you could be different than how much it costs for me. I just checked my alt account to see if I could find any, and Overcooked 2 is more expensive on my alt account than my main one. It's only a $3 difference, but if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Sony's also been hacked on more than one occasion. My account got hacked some years ago. Luckily, all they did was buy the game Days Gone on my credit card before I was able to get it back. I've been safe since, but the fact someone can just hack into a random person's account is incredibly disturbing. My last thing about discs leaving is if consoles are going all digital, why wouldn't you just buy a PC instead of a PS6? At this rate, they're going to be about the same price anyways, and on a PC, you have way more freedom. There isn't just one store to buy from. Steam is the most popular, but there's also Epic Games or GOG. And with GOG, those digital games you actually own. Or you could even pirate or emulate games if you wanted to go down that path. The point I'm making is there's a lot more freedom with a PC if we have to go all digital. I know any interest I had in the PS6 is gone, since I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on something that will inevitably become nothing more than a paperweight someday, even if it's 20 years down the line. With a PS3 or PS4, I can still play all of my games on those without needing server check-ins. I'm sure one day I won't be able to sync my trophies from PS3 anymore, which will definitely be a sad day for sure, but as long as I can still play all my games, that's what matters in the end. Video game preservation, which in all digital future is anything but. Those are my thoughts on this whole thing. I think Sony is making a lot of dumb decisions. It'd be cool if Xbox would capitalize on this so we could have a reverse E3 2013 moment, but we all know that's not going to happen. Especially since they seem to have already confirmed their next console is digital only. This can only end badly, and if it goes through, will undoubtedly be the end of gaming as many of us know it. On the same day they announced this, they also announced they'll be shutting down the PS3 and Vita stores next year, which has to be some kind of sick joke. You're telling me no one saw an issue by announcing an all-digital future with PlayStation, while also simultaneously shutting down 2 digital stores? I understand they've been active for many years, and they even left them on for 5 years after the initial plan to shut them down. But still, I don't think the timing could have been any worse. Please let me know what you think of this. Do you feel like me and hate it with every fiber of your being? Or do you not care in the slightest and are happy physical is finally leaving? I couldn't fathom how anyone could feel like that, but please let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys think.